Hello everyone and welcome to the PIPCAST 3000, a Fallout and Gaming podcast. Every other week, Caedo Genesis!
That's me.
And me, BADCompanySarge. No guest. Intro done! Hey Caedo, what's the tip of the day?
Thank you for the intro, Sarge. Tip of the day, apparently, is don't let Sarge do your intros, Caedo. I added the Caedo because it was definitely directed at me.
Hey, anyone in the audience as well who wants me to do an intro, just don't let me do it. I don't know how to do them.
Why not?
I just put on a stupid
better
voice.
as you do it. At least that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Listen, episode 70 was a bad example of an intro, and I just wanted to give you a fair shake.
No, it's a tradition now. We just have to do bad intros every time.
Oh man. But that's the window for people to click off. If it's the first 30 seconds, Sarge, and we're doing something that's crap, they're just gonna leave.
No, they leave at this point where we're discussing the bad intro. The bad intro they stuck around for, because people love watching bad content. It's when people talk about it that it gets boring. So bye everyone who's bored at this point.
Once we start talking about channel meta, then everybody just checked out completely. I get it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, in the comments, we're about to insult a bunch of you, so stay listening.
And there's the hook again. There it is. Okay, so we got... I would like to call it a record number of comments from the last episode that we did, episode 70.
Yeah, there were a lot.
We talked about the difference in aesthetics between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4/76, and which ones we thought were better. Or which ones we thought were improved, and it was a pretty good discussion. And other people in the comments had things to say.
Yeah, they did.
Not completely about the topic every single time, but things to say in general. I need to look up this person's name still.
Yes.
So, do you want to start from the bottom of the comments?
Sure thing. So we have Caedo Mars who says, Sarge is wrong about the Great War killing everyone and everything. That's a great science video of Austin did explaining. So, I actually went through the last episode trying to look for the point where I said, like, oh, the Great War's killing everyone and everything. It's a little bit of hyperbole. Clearly, everyone and everything has not been killed by the Great War, or else the Fallout games would not exist, which is actually something I talk about in regards to radiation in the last episode. But yeah, This is just someone being like, hey, you probably said something that was a little bit hyperbolic, how dare you? But yeah, obviously some people survive because you're playing as the survivors of the Great War. That's just a nice, obvious one to point out, but like, yeah, we know, buddy, it's okay. You may have technically caught me out on not being entirely truthful, although I'm annoyed I couldn't find where I said that. Because I had to skim through, and it wasn't at any of the places I thought it was. So it could have just been a really random point where I just screamed the Great War's killing everyone, and then we just carry on with the conversation.
Everyone died, why does it matter? The Great War killed everyone, there shouldn't even be anyone in the Wasteland, obviously.
Oh. But we've got a trio of comments here. So we've got ALDoc_042, best username ever, who says, didn't you confuse Mirelurks with Lake Lurks? Because I don't remember Mirelurks looking nothing like a fish.
That was almost a southern accent, Sarge.
I can do accents. I know what accents are like.
Well.
I want to actually do some voiceover work at some point, not like professional stuff. Hey, anyone out there who needs some voiceover stuff done and it's something short, let me know and I'll happily do it. I'm not asking for money or anything, I just enjoy doing it. I like
this
creating.
Is the moment that you make a Cameo account.
Yeah.
Sarge on Cameo, he'll charge you money to say something cool.
Oh yeah,
something.
Cameo for someone with like less than 100k subs. That's gonna get so many.
Brought
hits.
to you by Sarge's Cameo.
Yeah, but for this one, no, we didn't. because Mirelurk Kings in Fallout 3 look like Lake Lurks as well. Because Mirelurks have tons of different variants, and I made it's not as funny this time around, but I made the joke like before we started recording that like, 2 full-time Fallout content creators know more than someone in the comments, and I riffed off of that and said so many things, and they were hilarious. So now is the time to laugh.
I think I said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, you think you know Fallout? Name every enemy." Yep. And keep in mind, Doc, we're just messing with you, by the way.
Yeah.
Like it's an easy confusion, especially like if you play more Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. The Mirelurk Kings are still pretty few and far between, unless you go to like Point Lookout, where they're pretty frequent. I think they are called Lake Lurks in Point Lookout as well.
Possibly.
Like they take on that kind of look. They do look identical.
Pretty much, yeah. Lake Lurks and Mirelurk Kings
between New Vegas and
from
3.
those games, yeah, are basically the same model. I don't know why the rename happened.
Yeah.
Could have just kept the one consistent name. At least when you've got like variants on the standard crab-like Mirelurks, which is what ALDoc is talking about there. There's at least like with the different names you can see differences, which is actually something Fallout 4 does very well. When it like puts variations of enemies, you can like visibly, pretty much instantaneously tell what type of enemy it is, which is pretty cool. Anyway, and now the final correction. Go and say the name, Caedo.
Constanti Monso I Cadena. That's the best I can do. It's Italian or something. Google Translate couldn't even tell me what it was.
Constanti Monsoy Cadena.
Or Catalan? Catalan. Whatever that language is.
Okay.
Anyway, they said equaling bleak and dull is a big common mistake nowadays. Ask George Miller if you don't agree. I don't think I ever said dull. Did you say dull?
I did. That was me.
Did.
I found that part when I was looking for the other thing. Yeah, there's 2 points on here. Actually, there's 3 points. Number 1, no idea who George Miller is. Number 2, dull has multiple meanings, and I somewhat confusingly used both meanings in like a 1 minute space.
George Miller. George Miller is
you know who George Miller is? Oh.
Yeah, the Mad Max director.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I mean, George Miller feels like a very generic name. I was like, no one's going to know who that is. But apparently it's just me. Yeah, with dull, I realised I use it like pretty much back to back. At one point I'm talking about dull as in like kind of how you can have a dull colour palette with lots of greys and browns and kind of murky colours and stuff. And at another point I do very specifically put dull as in like a boring style of dull when I talk about how I think I say like Fallout 3's Wasteland can be a bit repetitive and boring because of that, and I make a joke about the Fallout OSTs because I made the Fallout Sounds Terrible video. Where a complaint I make is that the soundtrack is a bit boring and repetitive when it comes to the ambient OSTs in Fallout 4 that play all the time. So yes, there's, you know what, that one I was going into at first with like a haha, no, here's why you're wrong, and instead I'm trailing it back to a haha, I should really not use the word dull in 2 different meanings, like within a minute of each other, because that's just a bit confusing.
Yeah.
And you know what, I do think bleak and dull don't have to be the same thing, but they're not the same thing. And you know what, actually I didn't equal bleak and dull at the same thing. I specifically said them as 2 different points. So, I'm still right. Yeah, just because a land's bleak doesn't mean it has to be dull, but a bleak land can be dull.
Yes.
Which I think Fallout 3 can be at points.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah. So I'm right. Come at me, comments. See if you can ever prove me wrong. You can't. I'm too smart for all of you. Bring it on.
Yeah. Man. Okay, we're going to make mention of our Fallout topic before we get too far because we have a whole bunch of new stuff to go through.
Well, what's the Fallout topic?
We want to keep people interested. So we're going to be talking about essential versus non-essential NPCs. Like, which one would we want in the next Fallout game? And, like, what do we consider to be acceptable when it comes to essential non-player characters?
I'm down to talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't even talk to you about this before we put it in there. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm down for that. That's a topic I enjoy.
You can just be like, I imagine you'd just be like, no, we're not, Caedo.
Normally we'll spend like an hour just discussing what the Fallout topic is going to be. This time, we still spent an hour discussing other stuff, but we didn't talk once about the Fallout topic.
Absolutely. We were talking crap instead.
Yeah, if anyone ever wants to be a guest on the PIPCAST, do realise that there's like an hour before and after where we just BS for a while.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we're happy to get recommendations in the comments on who we can invite on.
Yeah. Only good creators, though. Okay?
Only the good ones.
Yeah. And if they don't come on and you suggest them, that obviously means they're a bad creator.
You're throwing out so many hooks right now, Sarge.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
you bring the tackle box? Man.
Let's just get on to the news before I can do anything else.
All right, what's the first? It sounds pretty neat from what I can tell.
It does. Apparently The Witcher 3 runs on a Steam Deck.
Yeah. It's a computer.
Oh, that explains why it runs on it. So the Steam Deck's like Steam's or Valve's, I suppose, portable PC like the Switch kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Yep.
A bit beefier than the Switch size-wise. It looked like it was like quite a bit to hold in your hands.
Yeah, it's quite long.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, the Switch has the little controllers and quite a small screen. This one, your arms will be pretty much shoulder length apart whilst you're holding it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the entire news topic of it. Man, there's really not much to say.
Should mention the Witcher, this was the Witcher official Twitter account was posting clips of The Witcher 3 playing on the Steam Deck.
Yes.
Which is also shown in the article that we have linked below. So
yeah, and it seems to run fine.
Seeing The Witcher run on a smaller screen than you're used to, being recorded with a phone probably.
Yeah. I will say the video does not look faked.
There you go. No, it doesn't.
It looks very real.
Doesn't look like a clever overlay. Also, there's too much shake. Like,
yeah, I mean the reflections as well are way too good.
Yeah. This isn't deep faked.
Oh,
this isn't a deep faked screen.
It's when they then turn the camera to look at the person playing it. It's Geralt's face deep faked onto them.
That'd be hilarious. Or like, there's got to be a Geralt filter where it just puts the scar over the left eye. There's gotta be. It's
good to see that the Steam Deck is running like good games. I have only ever owned one portable console in my entire life. I still own it. It is the Game Player.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can actually find anything on it. Nope. It just comes up with like, hey, do you mean like a portable gaming console? It's like it's super rare. And its graphics are like literal pixels. That is the one handheld device I have owned. And I'm still waiting to eventually go up to like a Nintendo DS and have like Pokemon or whatever on it. And one day it will happen.
Maybe one day.
Yep.
When it doesn't cost money.
Yes. That's my goal.
Sarge will have a DS.
I just gotta wait till everything ends up being free. And then I get to use it.
Yep. Well, something else that's not free yet is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. But it's got free in the name.
Yes.
Why does it cost money? This sounds like false advertising to me.
Did you just make a British joke?
Well, it's not so much a British joke as such as a mild speech issue joke.
Well, it's kind of a British inflection, though, isn't it? Free and 3?
No, British people apparently do say it a bit similar, but I physically cannot hear the difference between the F sound and the TH sound, or pronounce the difference. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a Sarge speciality.
Well, Baldur's Gate 3 has gotten a patch, and it's the biggest yet, which should include, hopefully, I think it already does, include the Sorcerer class.
It does say in the article, but it might also be bringing the Sorcerer class.
Might also bring the Sorcerer class. I mean, a 60 gigabyte download should include more than just equipable Salami, which was the main headline for this article, as you can probably imagine, because, why not? Why not tell people that you can equip Salami and slap people across the face with a sausage? Isn't that what you want to do in a video game? Obviously. Yes. So now apparently you can in Baldur's Gate 3, and I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was apparently a meme that came out of one of their interactive LARP that they ran during one of their panels, because Larian Studios has panels where they talk about the game and act out situations, and Swen, the director, makes sure to wear his full suit of armor every single stream, which is still ridiculous and hilarious. Yeah, so they made it into, they put it in the game. They're just like, well, we attacked each other with the Salami during the interactive LARP, and we put it in the game.
And you can dual wield it.
Yep, and you can dual wield him. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. I like it when developers like incorporate memes and jokes into their games, like during development and stuff like that. There was another example of that, but I can't remember.
I mean, every Kojima game ever just is a meme.
Well, I mean, that's a theme in one of the games. That's like the whole game is literally about memes. I think it was Metal Gear Solid 2 actually, but there's an actual discussion about memes in Metal Gear Rising, like with one of the bosses. Like that's the monologue that's happening before you fight him, is about memes. It's hilarious and weirdly serious. As per. But I can't, it's gonna bug me now. I can't think of it. There was something else where it was a game that was in development and there was something that became really popular to players that they just decided to go with. It might have been Warframe. It might have been something in Warframe.
I mean, I'm sure the comments can give us examples, because I'm sure there's many different ones.
Yeah, because I know Warframe, for example, like they're so close. The developers, Digital Extremes, are so close with their community in doing things together and making things together that it could have been something like that. But I was probably thinking of something else. I still can't think of it. So why don't we move on?
Okay. Well, we've got a super fun topic up next.
Ooh.
Yeah, Twitch
Love
got hacked. Yeah, Twitch got hacked. It was a big hack. I still don't think we know everything that happened from it, but the big thing which regular people were talking about was a list of the top 1,000 paid creators or whatever got leaked.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of discussion about that, which is honestly what I'm probably going to focus on. We do have an article linked where you can read through some of the more technical stuff. Highlights of the article is at one point they say butt plugging security holes, which I love. Just perfect. That's excellent. But
that's funny.
Most of the discussion I saw was just people talking about how the top creators were getting millions of dollars. So there's also been for some reason the revenue that was shared was 2018 to 2020, which was a strange one.
Yeah.
But that was quite interesting to look through. But there was a bit of back and forth over on Twitter and people being like, how dare these people make so much money? And others being super defensive of them, being they've put in so much work, they deserve every penny, they deserve more. As you can expect, the tweets with the most likes were not the nuanced ones, they were people going one extreme or the other. But it was interesting to see just how much money the very top people make, and then how quickly it kind of drops off. Because once you got past the 50th top paid person, it was okay, we're no longer looking at millionaires, we're looking at people with good wages, and then it very rapidly drops down to, these people are just about getting by. And it was very interesting to read through some of the list. Also weird that I recognised a few of the streamers in the top as people who I'd actually watched from time to time. Yeah, I think Bruce Green was one that stood out to me quite a bit. So I watched him in the past on YouTube with Funhouse and Inside Gaming, and I watched his Twitch streams a couple of times, but they weren't ready for me. And then I look on there and it's like, oh, he's a millionaire. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I get why he went to Twitch full time now.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it was very interesting to see, and kind of overshadowed the fact that this hack is a huge potential issue for Twitch, where, like, if people can get in this easily, your account could get stolen, everything could be deleted.
We don't have to call it potential issue at this point. It is an issue.
Yeah, it is an issue.
Because they got in.
Yeah. It's almost very lucky that Twitch is still, like, up and running fine by the time this comes out. Hopefully, Twitch is putting more work into making sure it's not going to be hacked.
Yep. Yeah,
and
hope so.
The article does point out, if you haven't already, 2-factor authentication, all of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Do guard your Twitch account. I saw a lot of people actually in the backlash to this, kind of like being reset your password, reset your password, reset your password. If you care about your Twitch account, you should probably reset your password.
Yep.
I don't care about my Twitch account, and I don't know the password to it. I probably can't even log into it, it's fine. I don't use Twitch, except for watching streamers.
Yeah. You go outside, and you know what you gotta put on when you go outside?
A hat!
Yes, correct. You win.
Yay! And you know what company sometimes makes hats?
Are we really just, like, taking the scenic route?
Yeah, why not?
Segue? Is that what we're doing? Okay,
hey,
cool.
You need a good pair of sneakers if you're going to take the scenic route.
Is it Nike?
No! It's not Nike, it's Adidas, who I think I used to get commission for selling Adidas shoes. I think it was like 5% or something. So I prefer them to Nike. Oh, Adidas. Yeah, so...
Adidas! Sorry, I should be drunk right now.
I should have been drunk forever.
Not forever, Sarge.
Oh. Okay. So, we got some Addy shoes here. I would like to point out as well, I was a professional shoe seller, so everything I say is correct, and nobody can correct me on this.
Okay.
So we got some Addies here, and they're making Xbox sneakers, or trainers as we call them over here in the country where words are pronounced correctly.
Yeah, and dates too, according to the last episode.
The date thing, you know what, all the rest of it is like very memey, but the date thing is the one thing that does actually bug me a bit. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I understand that if you've grown up with that, then you're used to it. But just from, like, the logical side of things, I don't understand how it happened.
I'm sorry to bring it up again, Sarge.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Adidas and Xbox have created a launch trailer for the trainer partnership that features footage of the original Xbox console alongside the sneakers. So yeah, not only are these shoes, like, Xbox branded, they're OG Xbox branded. So it's like the original Xbox logo on the toe, not on the toe, on the, you know, the part that you pull up. I sold shoes for a living for years. I don't know what the parts are called. I was the best at my job as well. I was genuinely the best. I think I might even have a screenshot somewhere of, like, it being, oh, you're number one in the entire company.
If you listeners are going to take anything from this podcast, you should know that Sarge was an excellent shoe salesman.
Yeah. I made way more money than I make now. It's embarrassing. But, yeah, they've got these trainers. They're, like, disgusting green. The black on them is decent.
The Xbox green? Disgusting green?
Yeah. The sole of them, they've got, like, I can only describe it as, like, piss yellow clear soles.
Jeez. I can imagine you describing this to a customer.
Hey, if I was describing this to the customer, I'd just talk about how they seem to be pronating a bit, so they could do with an insole in order to give them a bit more comfort as they walk around. Because I guess you're on your feet a lot, aren't you? Yeah, of course you are. So here we've got this Dunlop Pro Gel insole. It's only £7 at the moment. if you want to get it, I'm happy to just pop it behind the counter with the shoes for you. Thank you very much. I just earned £1.
Excellent.
See,
So
I could do it. I can still do
Was it commission on like selling extra bells and whistles for your shoes?
Yeah, you sell an add-on with a shoe and you get the commission like doubled for the shoe. Like it was something like 2.5% for just selling an Adidas trainer on its own, and then like 5% for like the whole thing. You could get, I think, like up to 20% if it was own brand, like Caramore or Lonsdale, which is always pretty good. So I sold a lot of Caramore mount mids with Dunlop gel insoles, and I made like 10 extra quid per sale, which was more than my hourly rate. So
nice.
Yeah. See, I genuinely was good at my job, so I quit.
Yes. To pursue something that was probably more fun, but paid less.
Oh, yes, it does. But anyway, yeah. There's some trainers. They look disgusting, which probably means some people like them, because every time someone went into this store and bragged about their shoes to me, they were the worst shoes I'd ever seen. So, I'm sure these will sell incredibly well.
Oh no.
Oh no?
No.
Oh, have you seen the next topic?
Oh no, Sarge.
I love adding topics in that Caedo doesn't check.
I didn't see it. What in God's name did you link here?
Resident Evil, welcome to Raccoon City. The official trailer came out, and it's in theaters like November 24th.
Oh,
and it has like almost a flipped like to dislike ratio. 71,000 likes, 17,000 dislikes.
Well, I'm gonna add that dislike.
Oh man. It's got like a Kaya Scodelario though. She's an actress who's been in things.
The special effects look awful.
So,
this is the trailer and they look awful.
Yeah, there's a new Resident Evil movie?
Question mark. Major question mark.
I don't know if it's like supposed to be related to the previous series of Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich. It's set before them. It's kind of like the
she's a monster hunter now.
Yeah, but it's like a prequel if it is related to them, because it's like the origins of the virus and all that kind of stuff. She's even walking through the house. They've also got a big guy from your number 1. Oh, here's number 5, Umbrella Academy, the guy who's part monkey. And yeah, see, I know actors. I'm up with my pop culture and all of that. I did genuinely see some people being like, oh, this is awesome, because there's like a few shots which are like taken from the Resident Evil video game. And people were like, yeah, woo, this shot is the same.
Yeah. Oh god, the dog! No!
Oh dear. You're literally hearing Caedo's live reaction to the trailer right now, everyone.
Oh! It looks terrible!
It is, like, incredibly CG. And considering, like, the original Resident Evil movie had actual dogs where they just put, like, some gory makeup on them. We have seen just how good it can look, is the thing.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. We've seen how good it can look. Here's the CG version.
Oh, this is awful.
I'm not here to defend this movie. I'm just here to present it as existing.
They had to show a liquor dropping from the ceiling.
Yeah. They show like 5 different enemy types in this trailer, I swear.
They do. I think they just blew their budget on the trailer.
Oh no. That's not a good sign.
I wonder if it's that.
I mean,
it's like, check out all these cool shots. That's where all our money went.
It's over a month away, so we could hope that these are just like quick temp, like CG effects that they've thrown in.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog?
Not like Sonic the Hedgehog. That was a movie where they completely redid it. No, I'm talking about how like movies often aren't done until like the day of release kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if it's just the VFX team working on the final part.
Can still make fun of the Monster Hunter movie in that sense too.
Yeah.
Because the sniper guy that became a meme in the trailer because he was closing the wrong eye when he said on R6.
Oh dear.
Like looking back. But they fixed it in the movie.
That's good.
They reshot it. But only because people were just like, he wasn't looking in the scope.
I think that's quite a bad mistake.
It's so bad. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you right now, don't watch this movie.
What? You can't just tell someone not to watch a movie based on
don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. I'm so tired of Capcom. Is this even Capcom oriented? Well, hold on.
I mean, it is like an official Resident Evil movie.
It says Resident Evil.
Sony Pictures, though.
But it doesn't say Capcom anywhere.
They've got a lot of hashtags. They've hashtagged like half the cast.
November 24th. Okay, if you want some stupid thing to watch, maybe go watch this movie, but it doesn't look like anything worth watching as a movie.
No. I mean, you've heard the song that's going in the background of the trailer as well, right?
No, I was muted. I had it muted the whole time.
Oh my god, listen to the song and then realize how jokey this trailer is. And think, are you talking about memes earlier? We got memes now. Where does it start? At like 40 seconds, I want to say? Wait. No, 50 seconds. No, a minute. At a minute, yep. Listen.
Do they normally have lyrics? That's normal.
No, do you not realize what the song is? And I said, hey,
wait, oh my god, really?
I said, hey,
oh my god, yeah, okay, I hear it now. Sarge.
It's that one. That's the song they've got from the trailer.
It's a meme.
It is.
Okay, maybe watch this movie when you're drunk.
No.
Maybe watch this. Now that I've heard the music.
It's great. It's great. They've got a cover of what's going on in the background.
But don't.
You know what? It's almost as good as my singing of it must have been.
I will say, do not watch the Monster Hunter movie, though.
Caedo really doesn't like it.
Watch Monster Hunter Legends of the Guild on Netflix if you're a Monster Hunter fan, because that's made for fans of the game. Of the games. But do not watch the Mila Jovovich Monster Hunter movie. The special effects are good in that movie, but everything else is horrible. Just bad.
Well, something we can all agree on is that achievements are great.
That's a lie.
We're gonna have to fight over it.
Are you trying to fight me today, Sarge?
Yeah, I am. Bring it on. We could both do with extra views. Let's get in the boxing ring.
Maybe I'll find it just fully blow out my shoulder trying to swing at you. It just explodes and I'm like, oh damn. Like, there is no fight. I just fall over.
There's one swing, Caedo's arm literally explodes.
People would pay for that. People would pay just to see that scene of me just writhing in agony after my whole shoulder explodes.
Alright, well.
Anyway, Epic Games Store added achievements. Woohoo.
Yeah, they did. The article is actually achievements that are launching next week, but this was from a little while ago. So there's achievements now.
Yay.
Just like Steam has, you know? Yeah.
Just like consoles have.
Yeah, you know what? I am someone who actually does like achievements being in games. Unironically, anything like that. I like there being achievements. It's like, oh, okay, here's another way I can do it. I'll talk about it a little bit at the What You've Been Doing section of the podcast. Because I've been going through and getting some achievements. It can be a good way to keep track of certain things as well. Like what you've done and what you haven't done. And on my Epic Games Store launcher, out of all the, 5 games I've got installed, the only one with achievements added is Cyberpunk, which I have 0 achievements on, despite having beat, previously. So, yeah, if you've already done a thing, you kind of have to do it again to get the achievement.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Again, if it matters that much to you.
Yeah. It's never important, but it's a nice thing. And
I will say, though, you made a compelling argument for, learning what you haven't done yet in a game.
Yeah.
We'll concede to that point, but I still think they're stupid. But also, I still do use achievements not for my own stuff, or my own playthrough stuff, challenges, whatever. But I do use them as kind of guidelines for games that are releasing now.
Yeah.
To get an idea of what people are going to be looking for guides wise.
Okay. That makes sense.
Like a guideline for guides.
Yeah. Oh, I've also seen people use it quite often as like, oh, here we can figure out how many players have actually played a decent bit of a game or whatever. Because you'll have, like, some games, like I played a game recently, Tainted Grail Conquest, where I got so many, like, ultra rare achievements just for beating the game with different classes. Just because clearly a lot of people, like, played the game but didn't make it past the first couple of classes. And you can often tell where the drop-off of the game happens by looking at the percentage of achievements, which I do find somewhat interesting.
I bet developers can find use in that, too, if they're paying extra close attention.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it's something they can actually patch and make, a little bit easier for players for them to continue playing after that point.
Yeah, I can't remember whether it was on the PIPCAST or... You know what? I'm going to check it now. Oh god, I'm going to try to. Oh, I'm not going to do this well. There was a comment recently on either a PIPCAST episode or one of my videos. It wasn't one of my videos, yeah, where someone was, like, specifically talking about, like, achievements in regard to Fallout games to try and work out, like, how many people actually played. In this case, it was New Vegas. They were talking about, like, only, like, 10% of people or something who actually played New Vegas on Steam beat the game. And talking about, like, percentages of people playing and all of that kind of stuff and how opinions go and all of that kind of thing. And it was interesting to see it referenced. So, I think there's some value to achievements, and I don't think there's a disadvantage to them, honestly. So, I'm happy for them to be there.
Yeah. I'm still mad that sometimes they just get added for busy work, to make busy work. One particular example that I consider to be one of the most notorious is Age of Empires 2, whatever edition. Any of them, I think.
Okay.
Where they have like 10 victories of each scenario type for each civilization. So it's upwards of like 200 and something achievements for the exact same thing over and over and over, just with playing as different civilizations, and it's ridiculous.
Oh my god, I'm literally going to be talking about the same thing in the What You Playing section.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh good.
But anyway, I'll be talking about a better game, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
Right. Well, Caedo, if you think that sometimes too much stuff is added in, then I've got good news for you, because Destiny 2 is taking stuff away. They said, hey, there's too much content in this game. If Caedo learns about this, he's going to be very, very angry at us. So let's delete a bunch of the stuff that could previously be played.
Nothing scares developers more than Caedo's anger.
Oh.
Put that on a shirt. Just for irony. Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
Yeah. Good for Destiny, I guess. You've played it more than I have, because I played the demo.
I also saw a friend of the channel, Tony Mo, commenting on it. And Tony's played more Destiny than both of us combined. So I'm actually going to check his Twitter, because he had some insight stuff. Oh, and it's so easy to find him, because we follow each other, at BADCompanySarge. And that's just great. He has tweeted a lot, though. Tony's active on Twitter.
Oh no.
God. It's going to be a while back. Oh, there's so much food and video games.
I'm still in his Discord server. I feel bad because it's like at the very bottom of my list.
Oh, it's inactive. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, yep. Tony Mo says, lol, what? I can't believe they're really sticking with this vault nonsense. I guess I won't be returning for Witch Queen after all. I'm actually absolutely done with the removal of content and entire swear word play spaces from this game. Forget about it if you're a new player, you won't even be able to play the Forsaken campaign, one of the best in the game's history. What really blows my mind is how Bungie has somehow convinced people this is acceptable and okay. Beep like this should bring about a huge blowback from the community, but you've got folks defending $100+ worth of content being ripped out of the game. And apparently, from @PatStaresAt, you currently can't play the game's main campaign, play the Mercury or Mars DLCs, go to Mercury, Mars, Titan, or Io, do the exotic quests there, such as Outbreak or Whisper, the best content D2 ever had, and soon 60 to 70% of Forsaken expansion content will leave as well.
This is paid DLC that they're removing?
Yes.
If I understand it, that's terrible. That's the worst thing to do. What? Yeah. Okay, well now I have full context. This is bullcrap. Screw you, Bungie.
I will say, the last time I went back and tried to play Destiny, the story just jumps all over the place. Because you have, like, the initial story from Destiny 2 that I'm used to, that I played, like, at launch kind of time. I didn't have it at launch, but, like, when I first played it, it was the original. You go through, you fight the Red Legion, all of that. Then it immediately jumped me to, like, the latest DLC thing, and I couldn't play the other stories. But then I was able to go back and play the one where a popular character dies.
Oh.
Which probably isn't in the game anymore, because I don't know the names of it.
I don't think it's a spoiler either.
No.
Because they used his death as promotional content for, like, the following DLC.
Yeah,
right?
they did. I already knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
It was... Yeah. It very much feels like Destiny is doing a thing where it's like, hey, if you're someone who is constantly playing this game, we'll keep on adding new stuff and removing old stuff so that you don't have to worry about that. You can just focus on the new things. But if you're someone like me, who's the kind of person who'd like to jump into Destiny from time to time, it's impossible to, like, get a good footing. Because it's constantly like, here's the intro content, and now here's all the new stuff, and there's no, like, middle game stuff. It keeps being removed. Which can be a bit annoying. Especially if, like me, you're someone who plays the game single player, basically. It is always online, to be clear. But I don't play it with other people, and I enjoy, like, the story and the characters and all of that stuff, but I can't experience most of it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's it.
I want to look something up really quick. So, at current, Destiny 2 is anywhere from 60 gigs to 100 gigs?
Yeah.
Size-wise?
That's about right.
Warframe is the closest when it comes to, like, space sci-fi shooter co-op thing. When I think, like, they're easily compared, except for the aspect that is Destiny 2 is something you pay for, whereas Warframe is free to play.
Actually, Destiny 2, you get, like, the base stuff for free almost everywhere now.
The base stuff is free to play. But
yeah, I don't know if it's everywhere, but they're constantly giving away Destiny 2. I think it just came to Game Pass. That's difficult to say. Recently as well. I saw it in there. But
yeah, but I'm seeing here that Warframe's average hard drive space is 40 gigs.
That's smaller.
And without jumping back into Warframe, I can say that it probably has way more content than Destiny 2.
Yeah. I will say, though, gigs is not always a great idea for, like, how much content a game has.
No.
So I think, like, the previous Call of Duty was, like, the biggest game ever at, like, 250 gigs or something ridiculous. I reinstalled Borderlands 3 recently, and it was 180 gigs, which is crazy and too big. And as much as I love that game, it's like, I'm keeping it installed and just trying to get a bunch of content and photos from it. So I'm
comparing one of the best optimized free-to-play games of all time. So, like, I do understand how that sounds from anybody, anybody really. But I will say that Warframe also does vault things, but it's Warframes and equipment, not actual story content.
Do you pay for that equipment?
If it's available, yes, you can.
Do you keep it once it's vaulted if you've paid for it?
Yes.
Okay, that's alright then.
Yeah. And how Warframe works is, like, you can, when they release a new Warframe, for example, like, you can do the Warframe subscription whatever thing, and you can get it as soon as it releases instead of having to grind for it, but you still have to level it up, which is you know, everybody has to level their stuff up. But there is some of those, you know, booster aspects. So, you know, that free-to-play games tend to have, as well as other online games that you do pay for. So,
I've just read down on this article, but Destiny 2 is 4 years old. That's not that old. And they vaulted things multiple times.
Yeah. Warframe's,
man,
like 8 years old?
Yeah, well, when I first saw this, I was kind of putting it in context like 76, because that's an online game that keeps adding in more and more content, and I was thinking, oh, will 76 ever, like, get rid of a big story piece of content?
I'm actually wondering how... Yeah, I'm wondering how they're actually going to handle that, or if they're just going to let the game continue to grow in
I feel like they'll let it continue to grow. They've added in instance areas, which is the big thing 76 has done to stop like the game crashing and lagging out so much. And they've been able to optimize it as time goes to make it run okay, even with more NPCs and stuff around. And they have a lot of like seasonal stuff in 76, which is limited time anyway. And they just like cycle it in and out as need be, which we'll talk about later as well. But 76 is like, what, a few years old this November? Yeah, it'll be the 3-year anniversary. So Destiny 2 is only like a year older, and it's removing so much stuff. So this is unusual. This is not like the standard for games. But
and kind of bullcrap, kind of gross for somebody to do for something that their players paid for and then can't access.
There's a lot of people annoyed about it.
I would be too if I played. But I don't.
I mean, well, here's another game you don't play, which you can get annoyed about.
Hey! Speaking of boosters.
Oh. Okay, so yes, Marvel Avengers. Which the first line of this article is, Marvel Avengers is still doing badly on Steam. Its average concurrent player count over the past 30 days is just barely above 800.
Ouch.
Let's go to Steam charts. Is it Steam charts? Yeah. And take a look at some of this stuff. Oh my god, why is it so big? Yeah.
We're checking on Saturday morning as well.
Yeah.
What's the number?
I can't find the search bar. 1 sec. There it is. Marvel Avengers. Does it have to be Marvel's Avengers? It is current players 696, 30-day average 745.2.
Oof.
With a 30-day gain percentage of minus 13.57, so it is going down.
Does it have multiplayer?
It's online co-op, isn't it? That's what it keeps telling me.
Then, yeah. I must have forgotten that part or something.
Oh man, 76 is not doing so well. It's clearly as bad as 76, which only has a 30-day average of just under 6,000. 76 as well is on a 30-day percentage gain of minus 17%. So it's losing more players and is still like almost 10 times as much.
Ooch,
and current players on 76 at the moment, on Steam as well, keep in mind, is 9,241. And 76 is also on, like, Game Pass as, like, a big flagship of that. Yeah. And on the Bethesda launcher, like, a year before it was on Steam.
Oh my goodness, dude.
But 76 is dead. Man, this is... I had to put that in context, because I know people joke about, like, 76 being dead and stuff, and it has reasonable player counts, but never anything great. But yeah, 30-day average of less than 1,000 is... That's not
bad.
Good.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to, I mean, the main thing of this article is Marvel's Avengers gets paid XP boosters, and not everybody is happy about it. Obviously, I loathe XP boosters, especially added to games that you pay for.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I guess 76 kind of did it with the lunchboxes too. Like, those are available in the Atom shop at this point.
Oh yeah, they are, man.
Which is gross. I was still pissed about the freaking carry weight boosters. The ones that I called before they actually happened.
Yeah.
And the repair kits and the scrap kits. Like, to me, all of that is pay to win, regardless of if you can get it in the game, whatever. But
yeah, it's on the slightly better side of pay to win, but that doesn't stop it from being on the side of pay to win. Because
when somebody adds XP boosters, especially to a game that you already paid for, they can throttle XP gain as well to incentivize getting and paying those microtransactions to get those boosters.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
will
a really
say the
gross
Marvel,
thing.
Yeah, the Marvel Avengers XP boosters came in just very shortly after the game came to Game Pass. So a bunch of people are now getting the game for free, essentially, from Game Pass. So they've gone, and here's how we're going to get money out of them.
Yeah, it's free over here, so this justifies it somehow.
Yeah,
but
then everyone who's already bought the game,
and bought like the deluxe edition or whatever, and like already spent all of that money. Don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gross.
Yeah, the article says as well that there are two main reasons that players are upset by this. First, developers increased the grind, that is, slowed the leveling process in March. And second, it contradicts a promise the studio made in June 2019 that Marvel Avengers won't have random loot boxes or pay-to-win scenarios. Yep. So, and obviously, as always happens, there's discussion where people are being like, it's not pay-to-win because there's not a PvP element.
Yeah, it brings up the question of what does pay-to-win mean. And I think in this case, paying to progress faster is still paying to win.
Yeah, people as well, whenever pay-to-win comes up, there's the whole discussion of what is winning. I've had people defend like 76 and being like, oh, nothing can be pay to win because you don't win the game. There's not a screen that says you win or whatever.
I need to remind everybody that I angry tweeted at Bethesda. I never do that when they showed the first hint of adding pay to win bullcrap to 76. And that was the Unstoppables little mini event thing, if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
I still have that screen capped somewhere. Just like, wear Unstoppables outfits and get HP boost. And I'm like, don't do that. And guess where you got all the Unstoppables outfits? From the Atom Shop.
Hey, they had like one in-game, I think, that counted in the end. So it's fine. There's nothing to
it's totally fine. Not that it didn't replace armor instead of being an outfit. Not at all. It's gross. Anyway, against all odds, I know that I'm calling you out.
Oh no.
I'm calling you out. I know that you play Marvel's Avengers, so what is your take? I want to hear your take on what you think, whether XP boosters count as pay to win or not. I've just seen it enough times where I'm just like, yeah, it's pay to win. Like, it's not, like, even in Warframe, it's, it is a free to play game, but I think it is still pay to win. I do like the entry level of Warframe as well. So,
but what if I told you never had to pay for a game because you could just steal them instead?
Is that what we're going with, Sarge?
That's our transition.
Right.
So, last week, there was some news about Metroid Dread, the new Metroid game, how it's already running on some emulators. Yeah. Which is pretty cool, I guess. However, the way I learned about this news was through Twitter. I spend too much time on Twitter, at BADCompanySarge. Please follow me. I need the validation.
And check out our beef at Caedo_Genesis.
Yes, Caedo's actually tweeted a few times recently.
I have.
It's freaked me out. I'm getting scared. I've got Caedo as someone who I get notified for when he tweets. And I'm like, what the hell is this doing in my notifications? Caedo can't be on Twitter. That's not right.
He must be losing his mind. He just sent a picture of a Ranger Sequoia.
You did. That's a legitimate tweet. Oh.
I'm sorry, I derailed the whole thing.
I think, yes. Oh, perfect. Okay, this is great. So the Kotaku article, which we've got linked, has an update. And it is completely changed. And oh my god, if only someone had predicted that and saved the old article comments. If only that could have happened so I could reference them right now. I don't know where they are though. It's going to take me a minute to find them. That's
funny.
Yeah, I specifically saved them because I knew they'd do this. I was like, that's gonna...
Oh, you did save it.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Nice.
I knew that... dude, I know what Kotaku's gonna do. You think I won't know? God, I've got too many things saved.
Oh, wow.
This will genuinely take me a minute.
When was this? Oh, this one was yesterday. Ooh, this is a good one, too. I'm adding a bonus article right now.
Oh, no.
Keep doing your thing, Sarge.
Aha! Okay, yes, Kotaku promoting Piracy. I have 2 of them. What? I don't care what you open it in. Just open it, yeah. So the article, previously... So now the Kotaku article starts with the line, Metroid Dread was officially released on October 8, but copies got out into the wild a few days before that. Previously, the article opened with, hey, real quick, if you are a Nintendo lawyer employee, just, don't read this. It was a silly mistake. Ignore this blog. You can go now.
Wow.
Yep. And also, I had someone on Twitter putting a quote of theirs, which was, yeah, thank God for pirates, emulators, modders, and hackers.
Okay.
Yep. Which is a lot different.
Yeah.
And now the article's been edited to be like, oh, of course, for those wanting to feel a more legitimate approach to such an action, purchasing the Switch game before doing any such emulation, while legally very dubious, at least feels more morally clear. They changed the entire article. I read this. I only screenshotted 1 or 2 things, but I read this entire article, and it was super hey, you can just steal it. There's the whole thank God for hackers and all of that in there. They were super just yeah, go get it on emulator. You don't have to pay for it or anything. And their update says, an earlier version of this story was understood by many readers to be a direct suggestion to illegally download this just-released game. It was. We regret this interpretation. We're idiots. Kotaku believes emulation is a vital part of the world of gaming, not least when it comes to game preservation. The game wasn't even out yet. While not directly encouraging anyone to break the law, they did, and download games they have not purchased. They very did. We believe our readers are intelligent adults. They're not. Capable of making such choices for themselves, independently of us. Just why we told you to do the bad thing. It's not on us if you do the thing we told you to do, which is illegal. Oh, man. I wonder if
it's not our fault that we suggested something.
Yeah, I want to see if
in subtext?
The PC Gamer one did not change their article, because their article was not hey, here you can steal it. They were very much just oh, here's the technical parts of you can run it on an increased resolution. The YouTuber who did it, they talk about the PC they have, and they say right at the end as well, but if you try playing Metroid Dread on Switch and find the controls cramp your hands, or you really want to tinker with the resolution and unlock the frame rate, it's nice to be able to switch to PC. So they specifically put it in their one as you can tinker with a resolution and unlock the frame rate, or if you don't like Switch controls. That's PC Gamer's take on it. There's no talk about stealing the game or anything. The implication is there that you already have it on Switch and then can switch to PC. PC Gamer did a decent job, I think, of putting it in. You could still potentially be hey, they're promoting an emulation of a game that's not out yet that you could potentially get for free. But Kotaku obviously had to redo their entire article because they were blatantly just steal games, why don't people take us seriously, steal games.
Yeah. I do want to mention to everyone that, the first time I had anything published on me or my channel, or about me or my channel, was on Kotaku.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It was just promoting the Wazer Rifle music video.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't reflect positively or negatively. Yeah. It's just hey, check out this cool thing. Which I thought was pretty nice. But, I do like Kotaku actually correcting what they said, but I would much prefer that they do it right the first time.
Yeah, I don't like their correction as well as, oh, we're blaming our audience. They, clearly should have known better than to literally believe what we were saying.
Yeah.
We promoted illegal stuff and things.
Just do it right the first time. That's mainly...
I can't remember if Kotaku was the one where there was, a hit piece, basically, on the head of Epic Games that we discussed like last year, I want to say, on the PIPCAST. And I don't know if it was Kotaku or someone else, but it was an article which I remember me saying like was the worst piece of journalism I ever saw, because it was someone specifically taking quotes and changing the context entirely and creating a different meaning. And there was like no way you could watch the presentation, which I did to check it all and get that meaning. And I remember people, including John from Many a True Nerd, yeah, I'm calling you out for this, retweeting just the article, which was a hit piece which completely mislabeled things. And being like, because one of the things was no politics in gaming was like the big quote that got misinterpreted, would be the friendly way to put it, where I can't remember his name, but the guy in charge of Epic was like, hey, we shouldn't be getting like political in terms of developers on this platform. And it was a talk about Tim Sweeney, that's it, yeah. The point he was making was about like cross-platform and how it shouldn't be like Sony versus Xbox and all of this stuff. It's good to have cross-platform. That was the point. He also went on to be like, hey, loot boxes are bad. Like, the thing was really quite positive stuff that gamers would normally agree with. But whoever reported on it, who I feel might be Kotaku, but I can't be certain, just was like, no, he said no politics in games. What about my favourite games which have politics in them as themes and stuff, which is nothing to do with what he said. And also went on to complain about like, he's got tons of money, therefore he's a bad person. And I'm like, yeah, you can have that opinion, that's fine to have an opinion, but it's nothing to do with the thing that you're actually covering. It was the worst piece of journalism I've ever read. I don't say this, I don't think I've ever said this before, but I hope the person who read that no longer has a job in the whole journalistic side of things. Yeah. Like, genuinely, it was bad.
I vaguely remember, like, it was a bit difficult to even, like, find any actual correlation to what the video contained as well as the
There wasn't correlation. Like, it was there just specifically twisting things. Like, it's if you for the sake of it. My thing about me saying, I hope they don't have a job in journalism or whatever, and you just clip it out to, I hope they don't have a job, and then say that I said that about someone else entirely. That's about, if someone misconstrued that and was like, and Sarge thinks Caedo shouldn't be a YouTuber or whatever, that's basically the level of journalism that it was. And I'm still angry about it, which is why I've ranted about it now, like a year later.
I did grab another Kotaku article. However,
I did see.
Yep. It's a different writer. The Metroid Dread one was written by Zach Zwiesen. That's a very interesting name. A double Z name. And this one is written by CC Jiang. And it says, good riddance, Steam bans games that feature crypto and NFTs. I think this is a good thing. And also, they had a lot of proper links in here that linked directly to partner.steamgames.com, their documentation on rules and guidelines and stuff like that. And I searched, and it does say applications built on blockchain technology that issue or allow exchange of cryptocurrencies or NFTs are against the rules and guidelines for publishing on Steam.
Cool.
Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of trash that ends up on Steam. Still, there's a lot. However, putting a hard line in there about just completely disallowing things that include cryptocurrencies and NFTs is a good thing, because we should not be running fake money economies with games.
I will say my opinion on NFTs and crypto was somewhat neutral and balanced when they first were kind of out, and I was like, I could see like potential for all of this to have a bonus, and I can understand the good points they're coming from. But over time, it's very clear that it's just let's break the planet in order to make fake monies.
Yeah, it's both that as well as let's not regulate it so people are getting their stuff stolen and sold as NFTs. Like, that was the main thing. Like, that's the main thing for me that I'm just like, nope, don't involve yourself with it. Don't engage with it. So if it's bad for the environment as well as potentially stealing other people's work for profit, gross. That's black market crap. Don't do that.
Also, as well, in the article, CEO Tim Sweeney, who
Hey,
we've just been mentioning,
Yep.
tweeted that the company, Epic Games, was not touching NFTs as the whole field is currently tangled up with an intricate mix of scams, interesting decentralized tech foundations, and scams.
Yep. Interesting. So Epic's not about it either, it sounds like.
I doubt anyone's going to be like, whoa, NFTs, except for the people who think they can get rich off them.
Yeah, unfortunately, some people that we both kind of looked up to a little bit.
Oh?
Yeah, I know that Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park was like super on board with NFTs.
I don't know who that is. I'm
Mike
aware
Shinoda?
of Linkin Park. I'm not sure who.
Okay, Mike Shinoda's the one that raps. He's the one that raps in Linkin Park.
I'm not.
He's been doing a lot of like
thing.
solo composing and stuff like that. But also, Beeples.
Beeple. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
Beeple's one. That was like around the time when NFTs first came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I can see like this is
And
how
he made
artists can get paid from it.
He made gobs of money.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say I'm much more forgiving of people who got into NFTs very early. Mm-hmm. Because as time has gone on, the like negative side of it has become more and more apparent. And I think with all things, like if you get in early, you've got more like leeway in being ignorant about the negatives.
Maybe
Once
a little
the negatives
more.
have been spread out constantly, it's like
at some point I know that most people are smart enough to be like how is this being regulated?
Yeah.
At the very least to ask that question, especially if so much money is moving around. That is a ton of money.
Yeah.
Or knowing it and not caring. And that makes it worse, obviously.
I miss the old days when you wanted to steal from someone, you just had to do it in the street.
Yeah, you had to break into
good old days.
God, the days of burgling. Man, we should go back to burgling.
In my youth, crime was
just kidding.
an honourable job.
Yes.
Had to do it
Speaking of-
face to face.
There's so many things people could take out of context and just put on
Hey,
Twitter.
I'll stand by my statement. You can tweet me on that one, and I will agree with it. I will double down.
Back in my day, burgling.
Man, you young whippersnappers have no idea what a proper crime is like.
Okay, well, we're done with those.
Yep.
We're now getting into the actual like stuff that we're involved in a lot of the time,
Ooh.
or at least in the community and talking about. And the first one was something that also happened on Steam, which was after a lot of years, like 12-ish,
Sounds about right.
around 12 years.
Maybe.
Games for Windows Live finally got patched out of Fallout 3 on Steam,
Yeah.
which a lot of people wanted to happen, but just never did until now.
Yeah, I mean, the most common thing when Fallout 3 came out was people being like, the game doesn't run.
Yeah.
That was all the time. And I couldn't remember exactly what it was that I got mine to run. So I was never able to help people. It was Games for Windows Live, which you now don't need anymore. So
Yeah.
people can play Fallout 3 easier.
Yeah,
Which is
well,
great.
the thing is, yeah, like, so when Fallout 3 first came out, I even have the disc version that comes with it by default, like it installs it also. So, like, that version of the game, I don't think it has a problem, because it does install games for Windows Live. But because it's not a service that exists anymore, Steam is trying to install something that doesn't exist. So that's what would cause Fallout 3 to just not work on Steam. GOG already patched it like years ago. Steam was the last one to really catch up. And I don't know if this was from, I mean, I'm sure this was probably from Bethesda proper, actually, to like patch this actual thing out.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth noting that Bethesda is now a part of Microsoft.
Yes.
And Microsoft obviously is the game for Windows Live, and Bethesda's obviously Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this has just made things a lot easier, and now
maybe
that they're
it did,
even
yeah.
closer together.
Now that you say that, yeah.
It's...
Yeah, I think that's probably could been part of the case. Or maybe they're planning on doing something with Fallout 3 now that they've actually, patched it to be playable again. Maybe they're going to do something with it. That's some of the rumors floating around. I'm not going to put any weight on those until
those rumors constantly float around. Remember how we talked about Fallout New Vegas 2 like 6 months ago, and a year ago, and 2 years ago, and 5 years ago before we even met each other?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Every single time that happened.
Anytime there's any news tangentially related, it's like, is this game getting remastered and remade or whatever?
You know my memory. It's like an elephant's. Because they don't forget.
Because it's big.
Now, what was I talking about?
I don't know. Anyway, apparently this patch also has improvements to stability and performance.
Mm-hmm.
So the game will never crash.
Right.
Guaranteed. I will say the one negative people had about this was apparently some people had some problems with their mods afterwards.
Yeah, I read a lot more into that, actually.
Hey, I'm glad you did, because I didn't care.
So mainly what's been floating around the r/Fallout subreddit, I'm just basing it off of this, so don't put too much weight into what the Fallout subreddit is saying, because a lot of the time the majority of the posts are like, what's their favorite Fallout game, or how do I get Fallout 3 to run? And it's still the same posts, by the way, because now it broke script extender, so it's basically the same. But that was the main thing, like because script extender was set up for the Games for Windows Live version on Steam that now got patched out, they have to update script extender, which by extension is what makes mods run from Nexus. Like, most of the mods require script extender, or a lot of the like big ones. So I will say, if you want to play Fallout 3 and you have it on Steam, try playing it without any mods whatsoever. See what happens. But if you do plan on modding it, if you do plan on modding it, there is quite a few steps you're going to have to take still to get it to run until script extender gets its update, hopefully soon. There's also the option of just getting the GOG version and bypassing this whole thing entirely. Because I bought the GOG version the day before this update happened.
Oh, wait, why do you buy a new version of the game?
Because I didn't feel like bothering with the Steam version trying to get it to work.
Oh, man.
It's before this update came out, so I was just like, and then once I had it on the GOG version and realized that I wasn't running into any of the issues I did with the Steam version initially, I was just like, screw it, I'm just going to play it on the GOG version.
Why didn't you just install it on, like, Game Pass or something?
Game Pass version is different, too. I can't speak on that one, but I know that's different.
I assume it works fine on Game Pass. It was just my assumption.
Yeah. I was seeing some certain mods were saying that the Bethesda launcher as well as the Xbox Game Pass version aren't the same, and some mods won't work with them. So I ultimately just didn't bother with the other versions, because I knew that GOG was primarily the one that was recommended if you don't want to fiddle around too much and you are modding your game.
Okay, so, well, fingers crossed.
And I can say that I've used it and it hasn't crashed on me once, even though I did add some mods to it, the GOG version. So
well, anyway. Fingers crossed we're past the part in the timeline where people, whenever they talk about Fallout 3, they're just talking about how to get the game to actually run.
Yeah, hopefully.
And fingers crossed people can now appreciate the game as the highest rated Fallout game on Metacritic scores.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is the highest rated. Yeah, all you people are like, New Vegas is the best. Metacritic disagrees. I actually want to check, because there's a way in Steam to sort by Metacritic
scores, was 80,
yeah.
85 or 86?
91 for Fallout 3. It's the only Fallout game over 90.
Or
and
84.
Then second highest, Fallout at 89, Fallout 2 at 86, Fallout 4 at 84, tied with Fallout New Vegas at 84. And Tactics is at 82.
So they were at 84. Okay.
Yeah.
Tactics was 82. Tactics was good.
76 doesn't have like a Metacritic rating.
Oh, of course not.
Which is...
I wonder if they have different rules for online games.
Maybe. Fallout Shelter has 63.
Really?
Yeah, but people are just like, mobile game, grah! Fallout Shelter's very good at what it does, but it's very different. It's by far the most different of all the Fallout games, I'd argue. Yeah.
Unless you're talking about pinball.
Okay, yeah. If we say that Fallout has 10 games, then it's the second most different. Alright.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough talking about that Fallout. Let's talk about the best Fallout game.
That's right.
Which everyone in chat and comments agrees with. Fallout 76.
That's right, man. It's our favorite game.
Hey, you know what? Even just us talking about this ensures that there'll be some negative comments. That'll boost up the engagement, which is always
become
a
good comment of the cast by getting mad that we're talking about 76. Do it.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, Halloween stuff is coming to Fallout 76. Is the big thing. Yes, on Tuesday, October the 19th, so on Tuesday, there's going to be an update for 76, which, will give a bunch of Halloween stuff. Going to be some new stuff in the Atom Shop as always. Scorched will now be dressed up in Halloween outfits, which I feel like has happened before, and they'll have a spooky treat bag on them, and you get rewards.
Love them.
And there'll be
spooky
Halloween-themed loot and generic loot and all of that stuff. There's also Trick or Treat, which is, you're able to claim a free spooky candy bowl from the Atom Shop, place it in your camp, and fill it with mystery candy collected from the spooky Scorch, or purchased from vendors. Yep, until November 2nd, all dwellers will receive daily challenges to trick or treat at other players' camps, and also to hand out treats. And you get rewards like perk cards packs, lunchboxes, repair kit, score, all the generic stuff which you get constantly in the game.
Yay!
There's Bombs Drop event, which is like everything being half price or 75% off. I will say, until October 26th, so many different Fallout things are going to be on sale. So if there is just a Fallout game, even if it's nothing to do with 76, just a Fallout game that you've been wanting to pick up, check right now, because it may well be on sale. I think Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition is like $10 or something at the moment on Steam, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
And
or just get Game Pass and have basically the whole Fallout library.
Yeah.
There's also that.
Oh. There's a please note at the end of this article, which is Bombs Drop Atom Pack sales are not currently available on Xbox in Japan or in PlayStation in Asia, including Japan.
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's to do with the whole like Fallout 3 you can't mute Megaton kind of
I think it's that.
issue.
I think it's primarily that. Yeah.
Man.
Let's not say a bombs drop event in Japan or Asia.
Yeah. Hey, this American company is coming to you with the bombs drop event.
Yeah.
Not a good look. Never a good look.
Not at all.
Oh. Yep. Okay. But next weekend as well, they've got extra stuff like double script. Extra legendaries, better daily ops. It's just, it's all the same stuff that is already in the game, but more of it. Like, if you're someone who's enjoying the game, hey, guess what? Here's a reason to play it even more. Yep. If you're not someone who enjoys the game, don't join just for this.
Yeah. If you're waiting for more content, maybe wait longer.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I'll probably like stream this on Halloween just as a Halloween themed thing for me to do. But that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta do an opening. You gotta do a purveyor opening. There you go.
Yeah, I'll do the purveyor. I'll open spooky candy
Happy
bags.
Halloween. I'm doing the same thing I've done before. I'll see if I can make some money
off of it. Yep. Hey, my channel's in the mud, and sometimes I have to go on stream and beg for donations from people so that I open a purveyor item.
I get it. I get it. I'll be there.
Yeah.
If I'm awake.
Who knows? You don't have a sleep schedule.
I don't.
It's impossible to work out.
Caedo
asked me at like 3 a.m. if I wanted to record. I was about to go to bed. I then stayed up for like another half hour being like, can I stay awake? Can I stay awake? And I was like, no, I can't stay awake.
I didn't mean to make it existential, Sarge. I just
it was so existential.
Because I was going to be up for a while, and so, but I did end up doing other stuff, like, recording some more of the Fallout 2 stuff. Anyway, Fallout 2 is not really a subject of this tab because it doesn't have essential NPCs. But we're on to our topic, I think.
Yay!
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Covered all the news.
Oh my god, all the news is done. And it's been an hour and 20 minutes in. This is great.
Hey, that's not terrible.
So
we had a lot of
news.
news and you added a new one.
That was a lot of
We talked before
news.
about deleting some news topics.
Yes.
And we didn't. And then Caedo
And I added another one, yeah.
So,
I'm very
essential and
mean to
non-essential
post
NPCs.
Caedo. I keep doing stuff that later on I'm gonna be like, why? Why did I do that? I'm like two different personalities. I've become schizophrenic because I'm
oh dear.
yeah. Because commentating Caedo and editing Caedo are two completely different people. Anyway, it's almost like commentary Caedo is not essential.
No.
And editing Caedo is essential.
So bad. This is terrible. Oh god.
Sarge, take the topic from me, please.
Okay, there's no good segue to it, but we are now talking about essential versus non-essential NPCs. The pros and cons,
Yes.
I assume. I mean, I know nothing about this topic, so I don't know why you've now thrown it over to me. This is not a good move. But you just said that Fallout 2 doesn't have non-essential NPCs, so you can kill everyone?
Yeah.
So it's the best game in the series. Hands
Obviously.
down.
Yeah. Yeah. You can even kill You really shouldn't.
Yay!
You really shouldn't, but you can.
Don't you get like a huge negative perk debuff or something?
Yep. Once you kill 2, you get the child killer trait, and you will constantly encounter bounty hunters.
I like how you can kill one, but it's like free basically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it said 2.
It makes sense. Like in BioShock, you can like murder one of the little sisters and still get the good ending and be like, "Ah, you're a hero who saved everyone," which is quite amusing. I feel like that was a thing at the time. Like a lot of companies didn't want to go like, "Oh, you have to be fully pacifist or fully this." It was always like, "Oh, we'll let you get away with one. You can do the one thing."
Yeah, I think it does count as 1. Maybe that's what I was confusing there.
It will remain inactive until the player kills at least 3 in Fallout or 2 in Fallout 2.
Oh, so it is 2. Okay, so I was right.
And in the original Fallout, you could kill 2 and still be fine.
They weren't even that much of a problem in the first game. No, I barely remember any.
Yeah, you also get worse dialogue by 30%.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a cool way to go that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You can if you really want to, but it's a very bad idea.
Also, Myron doesn't count as a child, so murder him.
Wait, I thought he did.
Guilty free? No. Although Myron is a teenager, he is not counted as a child, and you will not lose karma or gain the child killer reputation for killing him. It's in the notes section of the fandom, so can't be certain it's true, but apparently it's true.
This is a transcript dialogue. What? No, it's just referencing his dialogue. That doesn't tell you that. This source is bogus.
Oh. No, that reference is in regards to him being a teenager, not in regards to killing him. Yeah, that's why it says you see a pasty-faced teenager, and that's like the quote. Their reference is not like proving you can kill him free, it's proving he's a teenager.
Oh my goodness. Pasty-face.
Hey, tell you what, everyone now, boot up Fallout 2, go murder Myron, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill Myron in my game, and they'll find out.
Excellent. Make sure to kill another beforehand so you get the perk.
Oh my goodness. Why are we talking about this, Sarge?
Hey, it's the whole thing of essential and non-essential NPCs, and this discussion we're having right now brings up part of the reason why having having essential NPCs is kind of important, because killing in a video game is quite controversial, and you'll get the media all up in arms. People will not be happy about it.
Yeah, and like video games can still kind of get away with it in certain contexts. Like, well, we can use The Last of Us as an example. Like, it's not the player doing the killing of, unless it's The Last of Us Part 2 where you kill a pregnant lady. But I mean, in The Last of Us 1, like the prologue of the game, a kid dies. Like that's you know, it's not a spoiler, by the way. This is the prologue.
Even I know that.
Yeah, but that's like made for strictly for the sake of storytelling and emotional impact, which it's very good at.
I mean, children dying in video games is 100% allowed and fine, and a good thing that should happen more, honestly. No, it's fine, because that's just like a thing. It's very much the player taking action in order to kill it gets frowned upon.
I feel like we should use different wording. Like, I know this is going to come through on the closed captions, and I don't want to make that connection.
Hey, everyone, this episode's been demonetized. Caedo's got a Patreon.
Yeah.
if you want to support him.
You know, technically, you can unalive some youngsters in Megaton if you detonate the bomb.
Yes, you can anti-life them. That is true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
But, yeah, go ahead. Yes?
I was going to say that is like one very valid reason why people would want essential NPCs. Because although it's a little less unimmersive to have characters who can't die, the backlash of actively killing is like actively anti-lifing children. Actively anti-lifing the small humans is a thing that lots of people don't like.
Unexisting, the small ones.
Yes, unexisting, the small bipeds. Is something a lot of people kind of lash out against. And you can understand why. And I mean, it's a thing that Bethesda have like stopped quite a bit now.
Yeah.
It's very much like, no, you can't do it at all. You're gonna make sure it doesn't happen in any way. And I've seen criticisms of it online, but it is always a bit like I'm honestly someone who thinks that every NPC should be non-essential. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
But often when people online are like, you should be able to unalive the young things, it's like, is this really the hill you want to anti-life on? Like, come on. This is...
I love that you're going along with it, Sarge. Thank you. I did install a mod in Skyrim to make the adoptees mortal.
Anakin lightsaber.
And it wasn't me that unalived them. It was a dragon.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of my favorite, probably one of my favorite memories in Skyrim, just because it was so unexpected. Like, I installed it with the full intention of not doing anything like violent against them, but a dragon just happened to show up and they just got wiped out. And I mean,
I guess then you can like loot the halfling permanent sleeping body off the ground as well, which feels even more wrong than the standard looting. Like, I'd like to bring up the point that in video games we're like so happy to like bang 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 and take stuff off of the bodies on the ground. When it's like, really, that's so disrespectful. And in Skyrim especially, you go through tombs and just like steal stuff from it constantly.
Oh yeah.
And like, there's no consequence to that. In fact, you're rewarded for it.
Yeah. And the Draugr exist specifically to defend those tombs from being looted and to make sure that the rest of them there are resting.
Yep.
Like, you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're the baddie.
Oh yeah. It's you're evil. That's it.
And none of the Draugr are essential.
Yep.
At least as far as I know. I don't think any of them are.
No, they're not.
Or maybe
one of them has to be got rid of as well in order to get to the end of the game. Only one. You only have to deal with one Draugr in the entirety of Skyrim.
And that's
I know, because I did Skyrim no kill.
That's the one at the gate, right?
The gate?
The Sovngarde gate.
No. It's the one holding the Dragonstone. You can't pickpocket them.
Oh,
you have to get the Dragonstone off of them. No, the Dragon Priest at the gate kind of thing, Sovngarde. You can grab the staff.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
Get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is precisely like one unalivening, or two unalivenings that have to happen in Skyrim to get to the actual end of the game. The first one is the Draugr with the Dragonstone, who you don't have to do it to. They can just plop, like in a trap is how it happened to me. I was running away from them, and a trap got them. It does not count on a kill. I'm just going to say kill at this point. And then at the very end of the game, spoilers for my series, but Alduin cannot be defeated by anyone else. For them to actually be, like, taken down, you have to do it, and it counts against you. Which is why my Skyrim no-kill series ended with me in Sovngarde, Deathkill Skullcrusher, that's the name of my pacifist character, was there with Alduin, locked in eternal combat. And that is how the series ended. Because that is as far as you can get in the Skyrim main story. Yeah. You hear that, Mitten Squad? I actually went through and properly did it. No frenzy or stuff like this. I've never actually seen a Mitten Squad did it.
Can the Sovngarde champions kill it?
No, they can't. You have to deal with the final 1 hit point of damage.
Oh, man. That's stupid.
Yeah. I spent like an hour and a half trying different methods. None of them worked. I also, on my pacifist run as well, I was very strict. And to this day, there's actually one thing I regret. But I was strict and I wouldn't allow frenzy or companion kills or anything like that. Like, I was like, no, that's not allowed. And the one thing I'm annoyed about is, like, I caught some butterflies early on, and I wish I hadn't done that. Like, genuinely, that's my biggest regret from Skyrim No Kill. No, that didn't count. It doesn't count at all.
Oh, it doesn't count.
But if I were to redo that series, I wouldn't catch the butterflies.
Okay.
Because, I was going stricter than what the game tells you, because I had so many people who were like, hey, you can just cast Frenzy, and it doesn't count. And I'm like, that's not really a no-kill run. You're casting magic to drive people up into a frenzy to murder each other. Like, counting that as a no-kill is like, just no. Just come on. That's like, oh, it wasn't me, officer. No, you don't get away with that. And all of the people who were like, hey, just do it like that. So
summons and companions wouldn't... Do they count? Or
companions, I think, count. Because I know Esbern counts when you're trying to save him. Because I had to constantly reload because he kept fighting with a Falmor. I'd basically just sprint to the end and check the kill count. And it was like, yep, Esbern murdered someone. So I had to get through with him. I don't know if I, like, paralyzed him or something partway through. I just hoped for the best. Like, it was a whole thing. Yeah.
Just a whole...
Anyone who wants to watch it, the playlist is still there. It's quite a long one, because I properly go through, like, Skyrim. I do a bunch of side quests. I do tons of stuff in the game. I get 0 kills. It's a good series. Like, that and the level 1 run were, like, proper hardcore challenge runs, which I succeeded in.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm proud of them, to this day.
You should be. I gotta watch them, though.
Hey, good. If you need something to binge watch.
To back up my claim that you should be proud.
Yeah. Right, back to the topic, though.
Yeah, the topic that we haven't been talking about really much at all.
Yeah. Had a huge tangent there. Essential and non-essential.
Yes. So, what do you think would be the best approach in future games? Some games just exclude children.
Yeah.
And that allows them to create a non-essential NPC scenario. Or essential NPCs in a different way than Bethesda does it. Because for anybody who doesn't know, I hope you do, but for anybody who doesn't know, Bethesda's essential NPCs are basically, they just go unconscious if their health hits 0, and then they get up shortly after with full health, or a portion of that health.
It is very annoying.
And it can take you out of the game real easy if you're all about being immersed in the game.
I will say as well, a lot of Bethesda games have way too many characters that are essential.
Yes, way too many.
It's ridiculous. Like, you know what? I'm personally of the mind that I want every character to be non-essential. I want you to be able to get rid of every single character in the game. Like, I generally think that's the best thing to do, but I get that it's not always what developers will want to do and can sometimes screw up things. And I think The Outer Worlds is a really good example, because in that game, no character's essential. You can get rid of any of them. But they had to go through a whole rigmarole of, like, sorting things out so that certain characters you couldn't reach them and stuff.
They are essential in the sense that you can't reach them. More so than they just go unconscious. Like, you literally cannot reach these characters. They're either talking to you through a screen or a radio, or there's glass between you and them that you can't penetrate. Like, it's that kind of scenario that is way more immersive than the knock someone out if you're attempting to kill them.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't brought up Outer Worlds, I would have, because that's one of the things that game does well.
Yeah. I think it's the best example of like a modern open world RPG that lets you just do what you want, kind of.
Yeah, I hope they do the same thing in Avowed.
Yeah, and in Outer Worlds too.
Yeah.
And I hope we get some release dates for those games, because, we've got Starfield, and I mean, I guess I'm going to be a Starfield channel, but that's about it at the moment. Really like to know what else is on the horizon. Don't want to go back to selling shoes, guys. Come on, tell me release dates. But yeah, I think that's like a good thing to do, but it can also be quite limiting when it comes to the narrative and stuff. Because the Outer Worlds, despite being an open world game, I always felt like the narrative kind of pushed you down path A, B, C, or D constantly.
It does, yeah.
It very much didn't feel natural. And I even feel like more linear things like Skyrim, which has a bunch of essential NPCs, almost feels more open, because you're just given the quest and then you go about and do whatever.
Yeah.
Because even though technically the Outer Worlds gives you more choices, those choices are just pick your ending kind of style things.
Yeah, because in the case of Skyrim, there's no concern of one of the NPCs that are essential just dying out of the blue, and then suddenly you can't finish whatever the quest is. Like, you can go at whatever pace you feel like, because they'll always be there.
Yeah. Skyrim doesn't have to worry about it at all. They can just kind of let the story happen.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine in the end.
I wonder if it's something like that could be left up to the player instead, as like a difficulty modifier.
This was the point I was going to bring up as my ending argument, in fact.
Well, keep going then.
We can talk about it now, because I think it's a good thing to bring up regardless, but it was going to be my final, like, slam dunk. But then you brought it up.
I stole it, I'm sorry.
No, I am a huge pusher. I can't think of a good word for it right now. Huge pusher of, like, interesting difficulty settings. Like, I always go on and on about, like, Fallout 4 survival mode.
That's so good.
So much better of a difficulty setting than easy, normal, hard, very hard. Like, just damage modifiers on their own are boring. But stuff like that is really cool, and I think everyone non-essential, like, selection on there with a pop-up warning telling you, hey, you won't be able to finish quests with this active is a good thing to do. Because I feel one of the biggest disadvantage with making every character non-essential is that on a first playthrough, people can screw up the game and make it so that they, like, potentially can't get certain quests done. They can, like, ruin a bunch of outcomes and things without even knowing. It's the first time through the game, they know nothing about it. They don't realise you're not supposed to kill Jarl Balgruff or whatever. And it's like, oh no, I've killed him and now can't complete, like, half the quests in the game. That kind of stuff can happen. I know, we're supposed to be talking about Fallout, but I think the Elder Scrolls is more good examples. Morrowind is a game where I often hear people talking about, like, oh, I killed this person, now I can't complete this entire quest line and all of this stuff. That one pops up a lot. And I feel like in Fallout, imagine if, like, in Fallout 3, you, actually, no, that's not a good example. What's a better example?
You kill your dad.
Yeah, I was going to do that one, but it's like... No, imagine if you did just get rid of Liam Neeson right after you got him out of the vault. You were like, hey, I freed you, bang, bang, bang. And then it was like, yeah, I guess the water purifier's never getting fixed. And you're never meeting the Enclave or whatever. Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
And that's a thing I'm sure plenty of people would do just for the fun of it. And it would just kind of happen.
I am annoyed, probably more so in Fallout 3, because I just realized that Alan Mack, like the one who takes Overseer position in Vault 101, if you kill the Overseer, I'm pretty sure that everybody in the tutorial sequence, in like the Vault 101 sequence, is not essential. Or nearly everyone.
Amata?
I don't know if Amata is. Amata might be. She might be essential.
I feel like she must be, but also I'm not certain if there's actually a point where you can initiate combat with her.
Oh, you can definitely initiate combat with her.
Can you? Oh, okay. Good. I was trying to remember exactly, like, how much freedom a game gives you right after you finish talking to her every time.
Oh yeah, because she meets you by the door.
Okay.
Like you can.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, does she like sprint away or?
No, she stays
I don't
there.
remember it. Okay, yeah. Smack her in the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's got to be tagged as essential.
Mm-hmm.
I feel anyway.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
Maybe she's
everybody
not,
else isn't.
Yeah.
And Alan Mack is conveniently behind glass. So if you do take out the Overseer, he will take over the Overseer position because you didn't have the opportunity to gun him down or kill him in cold blood.
Yeah. That's another example, though, of games that are supposed to be like open world and full of choice, and everyone's like, choices and consequences and stuff, where the devs are specifically locking someone away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always very obvious that the person's been locked away. Like, you don't go through the game and be like, oh, here's a person who I cannot reach. That is perfectly normal and everything is expected. We notice them. We're smart game developers. We notice when you put someone behind a glass shield.
Here's the thing, though. Like it only starts to make sense if you do follow through with killing the Overseer. Like, you don't even see Alan Mack in that position unless the Overseer specifically is dead. I think it was done fairly well in Fallout 3, but they didn't keep doing that with the rest of the game. Is what I was kind of driving at. They only did that in the confines of this linear path that you're following in the vault itself.
Yeah.
Whereas it's something that's a lot more difficult to do in a big old open world.
Yep. The more open a game gets, the harder it is for devs to keep control over it.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And there's I think they did something similar with Vault 112 with Dr. Braun and stuff like that.
You can't get rid of them properly. You can only do it inside the simulation.
There's you have to go inside the simulation, and you have to beat him in his own game one way or another.
Yeah, you can trap him in there, but that's it. I remember because not that long ago I was trying to get rid of his actual corporeal body, and you can't. The best you can do is break into his room and leave mines all around him. That's it.
Yeah, but they can use it pretty well as like the clever essential thing, like we're talking about, putting the target in question in a position to where you can't reach them or you're communicating with them long range or whatever.
Yeah.
They can play it out as a cutscene. In Fallout 2, as an example, all you learn about Frank Horrigan is the tiniest bit of foreshadowing. Like, you see the intro of the Enclave just completely gunning down the people at the entrance of Vault 13. And that's like the intro cutscene, like, this is the Enclave. They just kill people. Like, go Enclave. I can't believe people support these guys. Anyway.
So many people do. It's ridiculous.
Once you start traveling from the den towards Vault City, I think it's just an in-game timer thing, actually. After so much time passes in game, you get this cutscene with Frank Horrigan.
I actually think it's like passing a line, because I've had it as my first encounter.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Where you just basically head south and at a specific point, you will get the cutscene.
Yeah, it could be that as well. But anyway, it's you see just a massive dude in power armor, as well as two who seemingly dwarfs in power armor walking alongside this guy, and they just walk up to some farmers and their child and just gun them down because they don't go along with them.
Yep.
And that's your introduction to Frank Horrigan. You can't do anything in this sequence. It locks your controls and it goes into cutscene mode, where you're just witnessing these soldiers in extremely advanced armor and weaponry just mow down some people. And that's your introduction to Frank Horrigan. Can't do anything about it. He leaves, and you're just like, what just happened? And you don't run into Frank Horrigan until the very end of the game, the climax of the story, where you have to do so many steps to get to the Enclave oil platform, and then only once you're done on the oil platform and you're leaving is when you run into Frank Horrigan.
Yeah.
But I think that is extremely clever buildup for and a way of kind of both intriguing the player and keeping an essential NPC essential without being blatant about it.
I definitely like to see far less of a blatant essential.
Yeah.
Because it is annoying.
Yeah.
Especially, like, a big point as well, I think, is in Fallout 4, if you go to Diamond City and you're trying to roleplay as, like, an evil raider character, like, half the characters in there just stay alive and they're fine.
Yeah. And I think
a bit of a thing.
I think part of the reason why, like, pretty much everybody else was not essential in Fallout 2 as well was they added a way to do all of the things that you needed to do to get to the Enclave Oil platform.
Yeah. It's the yes man route.
Yeah.
You put the yes man route in a game, you can remove the essential tag.
If you're all about being a murder hobo, you can do that in Fallout 2. It's going to be a lot harder, way harder, in fact, but you can, because you can pick up the clues and the keys and the GEC and all the other crap that you need because they're just kind of laying around.
Yeah.
Or locations, key, and stuff that you need. Man.
You know, I will say as well, as much as I want every character to be non-essential and stuff, I feel like when the things are put non-essential and you do go the murder hobo route on it, it's a lot less fun. Like, I remember I did the New Vegas streams where I went through Honest Hearts, and I went full murder hobo and got rid of everyone. And Honest Hearts, I think, is the worst of the New Vegas DLCs that you play for anyway, but that was so boring. It's the easiest to
do it, though, because Follows Chalk just looks like the rest of the tribals. I know how that sounds, but
Hashtag cancel Caedo.
He just runs up to you after a whole bunch of tribals, just wipe out your whole thing, and he's sprinting at you, dude.
Yeah, the fact he sprints at you is much more worrying, honestly. It's just like a human sprinting at you after you've been attacked. I'm pretty sure I shot him on accident.
Oh yeah,
and then just went along with it.
I've talked to numerous people that are just like, "What happened with the Honest Hearts DLC? Like, I killed everyone," and I'm like,
"Yep,
you probably killed Follows Chalk by accident because he ran up to you as if he were one of the tribals that attacked you."
Yeah.
I think that's just a flaw in the design of the intro for that one.
But that also shows how easy it can be to kind of screw up the experience for players if you don't have characters marked as essential.
Oh yeah.
Because if Follows Chalk has been marked as essential, people could go for Honest Hearts and do all the stuff that people like about Honest Hearts, which is talking to Joshua Graham.
Oh, dude, we should talk. We should talk about how cleverly they did it with Dead Money.
Oh, Dead
you
Money
can't because you'll die too.
Yeah, man. No one's essential in Dead Money.
That's
but
smart.
If you get rid of them, it gets rid of you. That is really good. You know what?
Good job, Obsidian.
That's the only time I can think of in a game where characters have been like not put as essential, but it's worked out so they have to be essential, and it doesn't like bring you out of it at all. It actually immerses you more in the experience.
Yeah.
And Dead Money's the best DLC.
It is so good.
It might even be the best Fallout DLC of all. Depending on your opinion of difficulty and stuff.
It's way up there for me. Like, Dead Money is freaking awesome.
It also has the best Fallout OST track ever, which I definitively proved.
You'll take that to your grave. I know that.
Yes. Hey, it's a good track.
Yeah.
Man, so there are really good ways to do it.
Yeah.
But it takes so much extra effort, so I fully understand just throwing the essential tag on characters.
Yeah.
Because that just lets the game work. You don't have to think about it anymore. Like, the extra effort of making characters non-essential but still making everything work out is really, really difficult. Mm-hmm. And when you do it well, it's something amazing like Dead Money. When you do it okay, you're just looking at a character through a glass screen, which is a bit annoying. And when you do it badly, oh dear, why did this suck so much? It's because I killed the wrong person.
That Dead Money is a lot more condensed and a lot more linear too.
Yeah.
So
well, it's a lot easier to do the smaller the scope of the thing.
Yeah.
And Fallout games have been getting larger and larger in scope.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes harder and harder.
Yeah. And DLCs do make it easier, or like smaller expansions make it easier to show a good example, because it is so much smaller.
Yeah. Well, I think even Nuka World, you could... I don't know who's marked as essential in Nuka World. I'm not sure if anyone is, because there's different routes you can take.
Yeah. You can just slaughter all the raiders if you want to.
Yeah. which is a good way to go about it. It's cool. But yeah. Well, what's your opinion on this, commenters? I'm sure you were really left out at the start of a topic, then clicked off. Just be like, I already know all the answers.
I'm sure a lot of you already replied to the title and just ignored this completely.
Yeah.
Because I make some pretty dang good titles.
Actually listen to this. Everyone who was like, a 2-hour podcast. I think I know everything that was said from the 10 words that are in the title.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's all I have to do, too. Like, essential or non-essential NPCs. Like, I don't have to work on that at all.
No. We could have just put the background music on for 2 hours, and we'd probably get as many comments.
Probably. What if I just did that? I just didn't bother editing the audio at all. Just be like, nope, episode's done. Just like the first 5 minutes. That's it. Could make that an April Fool's episode or something. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
I don't even.
So many months away.
This would have to be on a Sunday though. So.
Yeah, it'll be the 3rd. April the 3rd is the Sunday, and that's only if it's on the bi-weekly thing. Otherwise, it's like the 10th of April. Yeah. April 1st is on a Friday next year.
Dang it.
Okay, but apart from planning out your April Fool's jokes, what you been up to, Caedo?
Planning out the ones I never do.
Yep.
I played through Horizon Zero Dawn.
You did?
I did. And it was among the games that I was like, I should probably play this, like put this aside, take this out of my to play games kind of thing that have been in my library for a while. I played that and the Frozen North. I think that's the name of the DLC.
Oh, okay.
Impressions? People probably don't care at this point, because Horizon Zero Dawn was just a widely or positively received game. For like the mech design and the combat and stuff like that, and like the crafting and how well it flowed all together, I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. I was reminiscing quite a bit on like the prep it takes in a game like Monster Hunter World, where you're just like, okay, where its weaknesses, what do I use on these weaknesses? Is there any special equipment I need to bring that will help me take it down better?
Or you just do the Sarge approach where you use normal bullets and just sit there for 20 minutes shooting it.
Yep, or use the Sarge approach, which only works sometimes.
I got through so much of that game with the Sarge approach, though. The Sarge approach does work, it's just not the way you're supposed to play it.
Yes. But bear in mind, you were also playing cooperative, and we weren't parsing damage.
No, I did a bunch of solo stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
But it was often the case of like getting 1 damage per bullet, and like tracking the monster for like half an hour. It was ridiculous. I was really good at dodging though. That's the only way it worked.
Oh yeah.
The Sarge approach requires you to not get hit at all, because you don't use items.
Yeah.
So
light bow gun does make that a little bit easier too. So.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I did like that aspect of Horizon Zero Dawn. The story, dialogue, and the dialogue and Aloy as a character. The story is good. The world that they built in Horizon Zero Dawn is freaking awesome. How the lore is delivered needed some work. I happily sent some clips to Sarge.
Yep. I'm going to be making 2 separate videos.
How many audio logs they can dump on you at a time, and you just have to stand there and listen or walk away.
Walk away and then have your character say something else in the middle of the audio.
Oh, dude, yeah, that too.
Overwritten by that.
That too. Because Aloy does the Geralt thing, where she, says what she's thinking out loud or what she's investigating, and you can tell that they were heavily inspired by The Witcher 3 with Horizon Zero Dawn in some of the like the tracking aspects and stuff like that. That's very Witcher. But like Aloy as a character, so boring, so incredibly boring to me. Oh my goodness. She didn't start to show actual personality and get me interested until about halfway through the vanilla campaign. like when she started actually learning about like why she exists. Like she's got like an actual backstory and stuff like that, and it's tied to how this world came into being. Not gonna spoil it, obviously, because it is a cool backstory, but I am so annoyed that it took so long to be interested in Aloy as a character.
Yeah.
Please don't do this, developers.
Me being like, oh, the first half of the game, Aloy's boring or whatever, and it's not till you get to the second half of the entire game that she becomes a tool of a character, really.
Yeah. And it's that weird middle point where it's just like, are you like channeling the player or are you channeling this character you're trying to build? And it seemed like it was just this weird balance in between that doesn't work. Yeah. However, when I played the Frozen North DLC, the face tracking was a lot better, which was nice. Good. The face animations for dialogue and whatnot, as well as just Aloy's reactions to things and how she was interacting with the people of the North, which was awesome. And there was a whole bunch more lore to learn that was a bit more well-paced. So the Frozen North was definitely a DLC worth playing, I believe. And I almost thought it was better than the main campaign because of how well executed it was. So like, if you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn and you get to that point to where you're just like, man, I'm still bored, and you get to level 25, just go to the Frozen North to play the DLC. If you have that much patience, or just play it, because the gameplay is still like really fun. Anyway, that was towards the beginning, or towards 2 weeks-ish ago is when I finished it.
Really?
Or a week ago? Whatever. I don't know what time is. Fallout 2, I was recording that for the Let's Play and stuff like that. I am well ahead of schedule.
Excellent.
And I'm continuing to record sections. Today I recorded so about half, maybe a third of Vault City stuff. Looking forward to the Gecko stuff and maybe getting in contact with a certain enclave and then hanging up on them because it's funny. I also booted up Fallout 3, like I said, because I was installing it on GOG. I have been writing down tips and tricks. Never did a tips and tricks for Fallout 3, and I might, just for the heck of it.
Yeah. So
maybe look forward to that. I'm not promising anything, but...
Tips and tricks, hunting rifle plus dart gun equals OP forever.
Anything plus dart gun.
I mean, the hunting rifle I feel stands out in Fallout 3 in particular as well.
Yeah,
like the dart gun itself is great,
actually.
But the hunting rifle in that game is ridiculous. Like, it's such an early game weapon, and it's powerful up until the late game. Like, I find so many of the early game weapons in Fallout 3 aren't really that good, but the hunting rifle is just strong. And there's never a point where it gets to being like, oh, this is really weak. It's always like
when it comes to like the small guns, it's like a half and half between for me. Like the hunting rifle's good, but then we get a Chinese assault rifle. That's also good.
Chinese assault rifle is good.
The loudest gun in the game.
The disadvantage with Chinese assault rifle, well, apart from being loud, is the ammo.
Yeah, but
the hunting rifle doesn't have the disadvantage of burning for ammo so much.
Doesn't burn through ammo
assault rifle is also
as much, but you can get 5.56 from the Outcasts as one of the trade-in things. So
yeah,
once you meet them, like you're probably going to be set on ammo for a while. I was doing a big guns run though, and if you're not following the storyline, you're not going to have an easy time getting big guns.
Nope. It's like the odd mutant with a minigun.
I learned that, and I was just like, I should have started playing the storyline earlier, because by the time I decided to, like, Reavers were already showing up. Feral Ghoul Reavers, and not a fan of those. Not a fan of the spongy enemies when they start showing up. But yeah, once I got the Enclave to show up, and then went into Deathclaw Sanctuary and got Vengeance, like everything became pretty easy. I was playing on very hard, like that's how I play Fallout 3 now, because everything else is just way too easy. But yeah, so yeah, something might happen with Fallout 3. If not tips and tricks, then I might start working on some countdowns because I haven't done Fallout 3 countdowns yet.
Nah,
and
get you the views.
This is the most stable I've had Fallout 3 be, and be able to record it without issue. So
that's very good.
Yay! Yay, GOG version, never going back. And finally, on my Discord server, if you're on my Discord, you've probably noticed this. I got Me6 Premium. Didn't you have Me6 Premium already, Sarge? Because you got your tweets reporting thing?
I managed to get like a bunch of stuff on Me6 before they put it into the premium category.
Yeah, because
like
switch it on.
ranks and stuff are now premium, I believe. But if you had the stuff previously, they let you keep it, which is very cool.
Yeah.
I just got lucky and adopted. I'm an early adopter of Me6 stuff, so I don't have to pay for it.
I just didn't have that activated because I wasn't using my Twitter and didn't have a channel for it. But yeah, so now Me6 in my Discord server is active in the jukebox chat. I currently have my personal playlist in the jukebox, but people can add and play whatever basically from Me6 in the jukebox listen channel.
It's Yes Man's just permanently in there.
Yep. And the economy feature, which a lot of people have been enjoying, which is a way to work for caps and get some caps, and then you can go into the item shop, or you can play games and get more caps, or well, essentially gamble your caps, and then you can spend said caps on interesting items and or rolls that Dakoba and I have been workshopping a little bit. And thanks to Stark for creating the Caedo cap, which is a bottle cap with a Caedo face on it, which is pretty great. And you can get Ranger Sequoias. I made that into an item. You can also get guards as like summons that you can get. They end up as items in your inventory, and you can use them wherever on the server. If you want to summon the guards, if somebody's doing something illegal, you can summon the guards and be like, hey, stop right there, criminal scum. Or the guards can be on their side, and then you can be like, well, crap, I gotta summon another one. So and I've got guards from Fallout 4, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. You can get all of those from the caps shop. None of this costs real money, by the way, and it's not crypto. Like, it's just a fun thing.
Caedo's not made a server pay to win.
No. It's use commands to win. But that's pretty much what I've been up to. I think I did add a couple more things. Like, I turned the default things into Fallout things, like sweet rolls and perfectly preserved pies. So I guess you can get those in the item shop now too. Oh, and the limit of Ranger Sequoias is like 99,999.
It is unique after all, that makes sense.
You can get so many Ranger Sequoias if you want. Just like Fallout New Vegas.
Yep.
That's it. What have you been doing, Sarge? I've been doing so much. I talked so long.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about all the stuff I've been doing.
Okay.
But I've played some Cyberpunk recently and just rode about on a motorbike, which has been lots of fun. I have been ignoring the quests even more than before, but now with all of Night City open to me, it has been really satisfying just driving about on a motorbike. Cars in the game suck still, but motorbikes are fun. And when you drive over junk, physics just leaves, so you can have real fun with that.
Yep.
Also, in regards to achievements, I've been playing Total War Warhammer 2, like I always do, but there are achievements for beating the game as every single race, which is kind of what you were talking about with Age of Empires.
But
so
is it multiple times?
Doing that. You don't have to go through multiple times. However, there's achievements for beating as every race. There's also achievements for beating like on very hard or legendary difficulty for every race. So you could do it once. There's also multiple like factions within the races, like minimum 2, maximum like 8 or something, I think, for a couple of them. So, but that's just because the game's better than Age of Empires, fight me. So, yeah. But recently I beat the game as Bretonia, who's like a mix between the French and King Arthur. I beat the game as the Vampire Counts, who are vampires. And I'm about to beat the game as a Tomb Kings, who are like the mummy, undead skeleton style things. And then the only factions who I have not beat the game as yet are Norska, Beastmen, and Warriors of Chaos, who are all the ultra evil factions bent on destroying the world.
Oh.
And they also happen to be, Beastmen now are like the strongest faction after they got updated, and Warriors of Chaos and Norska are some of the weakest factions, because everyone hates you, and you don't get buildings in a lot of places. Warriors of Chaos don't get any settlements, and people just recolonize the places you take over. Warriors of Chaos are like the hardest way to like play the game, and they've never been updated since the first game that came out, and it's annoying.
Extreme.
Yes. Apparently I also played Fallout 4 because I put that in here, but I can't remember what I was doing in it.
Didn't you do a build?
Oh yeah, I did a build, didn't I? I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me, Caedo.
You're welcome.
I made a build. What was it? It was the Deadshot Merc. Yeah, I did a Fallout 4 Bats Gunslinger build.
It's
wow.
like you do the same thing I do. Like, you publish a video and then just forget it exists.
In my defense, I published it like over a week ago now, so how am I supposed to know about it? Also, now that I've checked this, I just had Chad at Fallout 76 podcast subscribe to me.
Oh, cool.
So they found my content all of a sudden. They're the top of my recent subscribers.
Oh.
Yeah, I made a Vats Gunslinger build. It was ridiculously good. Like, I remember I streamed, like, the creation and initial play testing of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I've gone to Beginner's Plaza, I'll start on very hard, and then we'll bring it down up until the point where I don't die. I went through on very hard and just easily cleared the Gunner's Plaza with no issues. And I was like, guess this is a good build then. So it's made it into one of my best builds, which are the builds of the highest difficulty. And yeah. If you want a good Vats Gunslinger build, then it's on my channel right now. Character also looks badass, which is the most important thing. And I'll be making some Skyrim videos soon, so they're coming out.
Yay.
But no spoilers for them.
Skyrim.
I've got like 4 separate video essays I'm working on. And 2 of them are about Skyrim. Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. Maybe we'll be talking about other stuff on the next episode of the PIPCAST 3000.
Maybe.
Maybe. Or we could just copy the audio, put episode 72, and see if anyone notices the difference.
Oh, that'd be kind of funny.
A few people will call us out, I'm sure.
I wouldn't have to edit it again.
Yeah. I feel like the intro in particular would let people in on it.
Yeah, like as long as we do different intro.
Yeah.
The rest
different
could be
intro,
exactly
different comments.
the same.
Keep the news and all of the stuff are the same. Just record the first 10 minutes of like the next 20.
Yeah.
And then just use this.
That'd be great.
It'd be fine. No one will realise.
Yep.
We'd fool them all. Alright. Well, Caedo, I'll let you do the outro, because I don't know how... We could just stop right now.
We could. But I'm gonna promote stuff.
Oh, okay.
If you want to check out BADCompanySarge's channel, he's going to be linked in the end card, as well as down below, as well as the D&D sessions we're still doing
Yes.
that happen on Saturdays. And Jared of Jared Gaming uploads the VODs to his channel. Also, the PIPCAST 3000 happens every other Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So be here in 2 weeks, where we talk about other Fallout junk that may or may not matter. It's just mainly an excuse to hang out and talk about Fallout and stuff. So, yeah, do that. That's it. That's the podcast. Thank you for coming.